So as we wrap up the Jabber series, the question now is, how much did the most accurate Jabber cosplay actually cost me? In this video, I'm breaking down every dollar I spent bringing this cosplay to life and comparing it to the insane prices people are charging online. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. So starting everything off, we have the claws. Every material in this video is going to be as if you got it fresh. I had a lot of rollovers during this project and a lot of things that I've used between the projects that I was doing. But for the sake of this video, we're going to act as if everything you got is brand new. With that being said, first things first, you want filament. You need filament to print everything out. It costs $25 for 2 rolls of Sunlu filament. Yes, you get 2 rolls. Usually one roll will cost $20 depending on where you get the filament from, but most of the time the base is $20. Amazon does do a lot of discounts where you could get filament for $15, $14, $13. It goes low, but I usually buy the bundle of 2, which costs $25 for 2 rolls of filament. Moving on from that, we have all of the paints. Starting at, we have primer. You need to prime everything, obviously. So once you're done sanding everything down, you need to prime. For this primer that I have, it was $7 for that. And for all of the rest of the paints that I use, which was this metallic right here, the white gloss for the base coat, and finally the claret wine for that red color. Boom. All of those paints for the 3 was all $7. 7 times 4. The math will be right here for y'all to see going on with the video. For gluing everything together, what do I always say? I didn't think it'll be this early in the video that I'll be talking about my goat. We got Loctite Super Glue. This costed me $7 as well for a fresh bottle. I did need a new bottle because I'd be blowing through this stuff. It cost $7 for the bottle. Loctite. What do I say in every single video, man? Y'all got my email. Hit me with a sponsorship, please. I love y'all Loctite and I'll never stop using y'all. And last but not least, we got the sandpaper as well. It costed me $7 for a box of sandpaper, I believe. I'll fact check that myself. $7 to $8 for the sandpaper. It'll be on the screen here with all the prices. And that was it for the claws. I'm lying. We also have the elastic straps and the gloves for the claws. The gloves right here that I bought on Amazon was $17. And as for the elastic right here, it was $14. It was gifted from my brother, but like I said, all the materials will be fresh so you guys can get an accurate gauge on how much it really does cost to build a cosplay like this. It was $14 for the elastic that holds this all together in place, and it was $17 for the actual gloves. And let's do the math and see how much that all costed. So combining all of the prices together, the claws came out to $101, which is not bad at all for a prop of this caliber. You can obviously get a lot of stuff rolled over and a lot of stuff you can have lying around that you could use for this prop, but $101 for all of the materials being fresh, it is around the ballpark of what you would be paying for something like this, and it is not bad at all. Comparing to stuff online on like Etsy and eBay, a lot of people are not selling this prop at all, and if they are, it's coming with the cosplay. And every single video that I talk about stuff that comes with cosplays, it always isn't the best quality and it isn't up to par in my opinion. You could obviously use that if you want a cheaper alternative, but I highly recommend to make these props yourself and go through the ringer. Now if you were to go to somebody and have them do a custom order for you, I guarantee you it'll be up to $200, $300 maybe to get the claws just like that, because people do want to sell more for the labor. So I highly recommend just do it yourself because it's way cheaper to do. And let me also say, if you do not feel like making the props yourself, going through the ringer of 3D printing and doing all that, you do not have to. You could settle for the prop that it gives you. I've seen a few for $60 and $50 on like AliExpress and these cosplay websites. So if you do not feel like, you're like, bro, I don't want to 3D print, bro, I don't want to do all that, I just want to have it just to have it, you could also go that route as well. I'm not saying you have to 3D print in any capacity. I'm just saying if you were to get it customly done, it's going to be very expensive, and it's not going to be the best quality if you go through these cosplay sites and all this stuff like that. But as I'm saying, it is your choice. You can do whatever you want, but I'm just here to give you a representation of the prices. Let's keep it moving out. Now moving on from that, we have his lamp. Starting it off again, I got the 2 rolls of filament for $25 off the Sunlu, off Amazon for the Sunlu brand. Then I bought transparent filament because as you guys can see here, it's transparent in the middle of the lamp, so I needed a roll of transparent filament, and that cost me $18 as well. I have the 2 paints that I use, which is the white gloss base coat and the metallic overcoat before everything got ruined. If you want to know how it got ruined, watch this video right here on the lamp. Everything got ruined, but I'm gonna get into that in a second. I had these 2 paints originally, which is $14 for those 2 paints. Then when everything got ruined, inevitably I had to switch over to the hand paint, which this costed me $10. It actually didn't cost me $10. A buddy a long time ago gave me this paint for the sake of the video. Like I said, everything is fresh. This is $10 for this hand paint, this metallic hand paint. By the way, this hand paint is amazing to use. Boom. If you have no alternative, I highly recommend getting the Deco Art metallic hand paint. Like I said, fresh bottle of Loctite super glue, $7 for this right here. And last but not least, to make everything mend together, you're going to need a soldering iron. You're going to need a soldering iron for most 3D printer projects. It's just good to have one. Thankfully, my brother, before he moved to Texas, gave me his soldering iron. But if you wanted a fresh one, it'll cost you $14 as a base for a pretty solid soldering iron. And I'll show you guys this right now. This is the trusty old soldering iron that it was given to me. It costed $14 for an average good soldering iron, and that is all of the prices for the lamp. So combining all of those prices together, you get $88 for the entire lamp. Again, it is not that bad, especially in your situation. Most likely you will have a ton of rollovers. I'm talking like the metallic paints, the Loctite. You might have a soldering iron laying around, so that price deducts so much. But for the sake of the freshness, $88 still is not bad for a prop like that. I looked all over the internet and nobody is selling the lamp. I think nobody is selling most of the Gachiakuta stuff because the anime is still like really new, so not a lot of people are making props and making stuff like that for it, especially for sale. That's why I said I highly recommend it. If you could 3D print props, go for it. If you can make it out of foam, cardboard, whatever, I highly recommend to make most of your props yourself, because one, a lot of people are not selling the props, and two, if you go to get it custom made, they are going to mark up because of labor and other reasons. They're going to mark up the price a ton, so I highly recommend it. But like I said, $88 for all of the prop, or for all of the lamp, is not bad at all. And let's keep moving on. Now, last but not least, for the printing, we have all of Jabber's accessories. Starting it off again, we have the filament, $25 for 2 rolls of filament. We're going to keep going as if you're going fresh, $25 for that. All of the paints, like I said before, it is $28. I used every single paint: metallic, white gloss for the base coat, obviously primer to start, and claret wine for the red around his choker. Then we have $20. I had to do gold and metallic for the shirt. For the buttons on his shirt right here, I had to use gold and metallic. So for both of those paints, for both of those hand paints, it is $20, 10 a piece. Loctite as well, another $7 right there. Boom. Last but not least, we have the magnets. I paid $7 for these 5x2 millimeter magnets. Boom, right there. 5x2 millimeter magnets, I paid $7 for those. And now we can add up all of the prices, and that was all of everything for everything that I printed on this cosplay. So combining the total of everything that I said in the last clip, we have $87 for all of these accessories. Like I said, if you're making a Jabber cosplay, you're most likely going to have a ton of rollovers. Even then, for all of the accessories, like the choker here and all of his little wristbands that he has on his arms, boom, all of the stuff like that, $87 for everything like that is still not bad at all. Like I said, a lot of people aren't making the accessories for Jabber. Thank God we have the files. Now that is something I can say hallelujah for. We have the files of all of this stuff. Nobody is actually making these for sale, so I highly recommend it. Again, I can't stress it enough, to make it out of cardboard, foam, 3D print, whatever you can make it out of, just make it yourself. Yeah, that's basically all I got to say for that. Now we're gonna get into the clothes and everything I paid for the full fit of the cosplay. Now, last but not least, we have how much I paid for all of the clothes and the shoes of this cosplay. Starting with all of the clothes, I paid $164 on Easy Cosplay for the entire fit. Now the fit comes with, obviously it comes with the shirt. I did not like the buttons on the shirt. If you watch my accessories video, did not like the buttons on the shirt, so I swapped them out and made my own. But I'm just gonna talk about right now with all of the $164 with what the cosplay actually comes with. But that was the shirt. Moving on from that, you get this long purple like wrap thing that he has. I'll put up on the screen on how it looks. He has like a wrap around his stomach. You get that as well. You also get like this undershirt with the hoodie. Also get the pants, obviously. You get the belt, which I don't really like this belt either as much. I would rather get a different belt, but this belt works. It works. So you get the belt as well. You also get rings for his fingers. You get his little rings, and you get a lamp. I'll throw up the lamp on the screen here. That lamp is terrible. It's just a box of plastic. That's basically what it is. I made my own, obviously. That is basically what you get for $164. It is worth it. For a base, this is one of the best base cosplays that I've ever worked on. It is so worth it. So I highly recommend to get the base if you just want the base as well. I don't know if the other companies do the same format or have the same cosplay. I think it is the same thing, but Easy Cosplay was very easy to buy it from. It was very easy to go through everything I needed to go through to get the actual cosplay, and I highly recommend getting that base. There's a lot of stuff that I'll switch out, but that's every base cosplay you get. There's going to be stuff that you're going to want to switch out, and in my case there was a few things that I wanted to switch out, but as for the base, it was very easy to work on. And now as for the shoes, they're currently on sale for $47, but I just bought these off Amazon. These are the closest, in my opinion, to what Jabber's shoes actually looks like. Boom, I just got these for $47, nothing too crazy there. And that is it for all of the clothes. Everything came together, and then all I needed to buy separately was the shoes, which wasn't bad at all. So combining those two prices together, it all came out to $211 for the clothes and the shoes. That sounds right as well. You're going to be paying that amount for the base of a cosplay. You're going to be paying $150, and then for the shoes, they're $40. It's a little bit expensive for shoes of like that. Like, I didn't need like shoes of that price, but I couldn't find any other shoes that matched Jabber the way that those shoes did, so I had to kind of bite the bullet on that one with the 44. Like, I did not like that price. Trust me y'all, I did not like that price at all. 211 together is around the ballpark that you're going to be paying for clothes and shoes for the cosplay, and then adding on with the 3D prints, it can get a little expensive. Like I said, I had a lot of rollovers throughout this project, and now we're going to go into the grand total of if you were to get everything fresh right now. So combining all of the prices from my Jabber cosplay, can I get a drum roll please? $487. If you were to do this fresh, it will cost you $487 for the full cosplay, all the 3D printed pieces, everything. For me, if I had to guess, with all the rollovers that I had, Loctite, all of the paints, all of the hand paints as well, the soldering iron, everything, all of those rollovers, I think I only paid about $250. That is not bad at all. I highly recommend to make all of this stuff yourself because it is very, very cheap. It's not that bad altogether fresh, and it's going to be even better like I paid with the $250 if you just have all the stuff lying around in the rollovers. So I highly recommend to do it like that, and if you don't have to as well. Now, the age-old question, do I regret paying the amount that I did for this cosplay? No, I never ever regret it. This Jabber cosplay taught me so much, and this was the first cosplay that I could say officially that I was on my own doing everything. My brother was out of town when I made this entire cosplay. I was on my own from the bottom up. I had to do everything myself. I had to think out of the box and everything. I do not regret this at all, and it came out beautifully. I'll throw up a bunch of pictures as I'm talking right now. I am so happy with how this cosplay came out, and I couldn't have done it without my mother as well. Shout out Ma Dukes. That's how we made the claws. Go watch this video if you want to know the full process of how we made the claws come to life. Yeah, man, it's amazing. I will not take it back for the world. I love my Jabber cosplay. It's one of my favorites. It's up in the top 5 of my favorite cosplays that I've done so far. And with that being said, yeah, that is it, man. With that being said, that is going to do it for this video. I thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm telling you guys, I'm grinding. I know y'all peeped the new hairstyle. I know y'all see it. I'm rocking the Aaron Yeager. Not too much. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and rocking with me. Like I say in every single video, without you guys, I would not have the motivation to keep going out. I have the motivation to keep grinding and to keep getting these videos out, which I am doing. I have a lot more on the way. I hate to say this, but this is the end of the Jabber series. Let me know how much y'all enjoyed it. Y'all are going crazy on my newest video as well on the accessories. Thank you guys so much for the support. I'm going to keep getting these videos out. The Jabber series is now coming to a close. Welcome to the Boba Fett series. I have so much to talk about in that series and so much to explain, and I have a lot of videos coming out for it. Like I said, I have like I have way more than that, and the price video for Boba Fett is going to be split in multiple different parts because there is no way I can talk about the information like I did in this video with all the Boba Fett stuff. It's going to have to be split in multiple different parts, so stay tuned. I have so much content coming this summer, and I thank you guys for being along for the ride. So with that being said, I'm not going to get this outro to be too long. I'm gonna get out of y'all hair. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, your night, whenever y'all motherfuckers is watching this video, and as always, keep designing, making and building, and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Peace.